Hey guys, if you're enjoying the content that I'm making, please click that subscribe button. Also remember to click that bell button and make sure to tick that box to send all notifications so you don't miss out on any videos. With that in mind, let's get on with the video. What's up guys, welcome to Monchkinz Gaming, where we take your gaming to the next level. This is Monchkinz logging in to bring you another Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia video. And welcome to my video guide for Golbez's Lost Chapter, Golbez Clad in Darkness, Part 14, and of course this is going to be on the Chaos difficulty. So without further ado, let's start this video as always with the abilities, weaknesses, resistances, and elements that the boss can absorb. And the boss for this fight is called the Flawless, and it is weak to ice and dark elements and has a ×2 resistance to magic attacks. It can also absorb the Holy Element. As for its abilities, it has Flare, which is a magic brave attack, Dive, which is a melee HP attack, Scintillating Slash, which is a holy melee brave attack which also removes the target's buffs without any frames, Holy Sword Art, which is increasing its own brave when its brave is less than its initial brave, and will do a melee brave attack plus HP attack, and again removing all the debuffs without any frames. Homing Ray, which increases its brave and will do a group magic brave attack. This also increases its turn rate when inflicting a break or attacking a target afflicted with break. Next is Bright Ray, which increases its brave once again when its brave is less than its initial brave, and will do a group magic brave attack plus HP attack. Next is Angelic Aureole. I hope I pronounced that right. It is a group magic brave attack and removes the target's buffs without frames once again, and increases its own brave and grants itself a max brave up. This has a low turn rate. Next is Curaga, which restores its HP and raises its attack, defense, max brave, and speed. Now, a couple of texts will pop up increasing its stats. The first one is called Receiving Power from Heaven, which raises all its stats, and the other one is Receiving Further Power from Heaven, which further raises its stats. Okay guys, now let's take a look at some general tips and guide, and the first one for you guys is to save about 60 to 70% of your abilities for the final wave. This is because the boss will actually revive itself once you kill it the first time around. So you just save those abilities by using your HP attack plus or your HP attack plus on the earlier waves. You can definitely use some of your abilities on wave 3 because this is sort of like a mini boss stage. So other than that, just use your HP attack plus and plus. Next is to bring in your boosted characters. We do have two that I highly recommend, which are Golbez or 7. I do highly recommend Golbez. 7 is not too bad, however Golbez definitely packs quite a punch. However, if you don't have any of these characters, other characters that you may want to consider bringing are Warrior of Light, Faris, Cloud, Tifa, Lilith, Sephiroth, Balthier, Bosch, Fang, Agrius, Bartz, Celeste, Kimari, Yuffie, or Elise. As for your healers plus brave battery options, you do have an option between Charlotta, Rosa, Ram, Kate Sith, or Ishtola. Just note that they will be a little bit gimp because the boss is resistance to magic attacks. So the idea is basically they will try their best just to make sure that the entire party has enough brave to do HP attack, and they will do their HP attack as well along those lines. So they won't be doing a lot of brave shaving, but you know, they'll do a lot of support type activities. As for the summon, I do highly suggest just bringing Shiva for this one because the boss is weak to the ice element. However, that's not just the only reason why you should definitely bring Shiva, and the reason for this is the current change that they've done when it comes to resistances with elements and the attacks. Now the resistances on the elements take priority, so even though the boss is double resistance to magic attacks, if you have Shiva up and you actually use a magic attack that doesn't have any elements, that element will turn to ice and the boss will immediately be weak to that attack even though he has double resistance to magic attacks. So this is one very important note, because if, for example, you want to bring Setzer as your support and use his freeze and his prismatic flash ability, you may want to just use that friend support during the summon phase in order for you to capitalize his damage output as well. And speaking of friend support, let's take a look at the general strategies that I've used in this fight. Now let's talk about the friend support first. I've already mentioned Setzer, making sure that freeze debuff is up in order for you to stay alive basically when it comes to the boss, using various abilities that actually increases its brave and will do a brave attack plus HP attack. I just highly recommend, if you're using Setzer, use him during the summon phase. Now Golbez is here as well if you want to do a lot of damage. Yuffie kind of acts the same way as Setzer. With Yuffie's EX ability, it will prevent the boss from actually gaining brave before its brave plus HP attacks. Now this is very important because Bright Ray will basically one-shot any of your characters that are not boosted. Its brave or max brave is so high that it can basically kill them even though it's like a splash damage. So I highly recommend bringing Setzer or Yuffie for this one. And of course you can bring Agrius as well because she can actually silence the boss but you still have to think about what's gonna happen the next turn. You can obviously try to delay it as much as you can with paralysis, delay, or even silence, and that is basically the second point for this particular strategy. Try to use these different strategies, or I would say debuffs in a way, in order for you to survive. Now the next one is, before you kill the boss for the first time, note that it will use Angelic Aureole, I don't know how to pronounce that, after you kill it. If you kill it during the summon phase, it will use it after your character's next turn out of the summon phase. So if you do decide to use your summon and kill it, just note after that summon phase, after your character's turn, it will use that. So if you can actually make sure you don't get broken, that would be really great. Now the next one, for a safe run, I highly recommend bringing a tank. Bosch or Kimahri are the safest option, as they can either take all the incoming HP attacks from the group or reduce the amount of HP attack that comes to the entire party as well. So I highly recommend bringing Bosch or Kimahri if you do decide you want a safer run per se. Of course, the blind debuff for Kimahri actually really helps as well. And for the final one is to just bring a healer. You can actually bring a healer with Revive as well. Of course, Rosa, even though she's Gip or Y'shtola, they are still quite useful in this fight. Okay, so now let's talk about possible party compositions. The first one I have for you guys is what you guys are seeing here right now, which is Golbez, Yuffie, Y'shtola with Setzer support and Shiva for the summon. Golbez is here basically for Brave Shaving and doing big damage. Yuffie to stop the boss from gaining Brave, plus the debuffs that she adds. Y'shtola for heals, plus or minus Revive if needed, and of course she can also delay, and again only take out Setzer during the summon phase so he can deal a decent amount of damage. Now the next one I have for you guys here is Sephiroth with Rosa and Warrior of Light with a Setzer support and Shiva for the summon. Sephiroth is going to be your Brave Shaver and HP damage here, basically replacing Golbez. Rosa is for heals and revives, and of course Warrior of Light for its shields. Now unfortunately, I actually tried this out and the Warrior of Light ended up dying because of Bright Ray. Again, that is it's sort of like a one-hit mechanic. It's sort of really annoying even with the shields. So having Rosa for the extra revive or whatever the case may be that may happen if you didn't dodge Bright Ray for whatever reason, then that is just there for backup. Now the next team I have for you guys here is Tifa, Y'shtola, and CLAD with a Tifa support and Shiva for the summon. Now double Tifa for damage plus their delays. They're pretty good at that. Y'shtola again for further delays and heals and revives, and of course you can actually do double Tifa with Y'shtola during the summon phase, making sure you do a lot of damage. I was gonna say immense damage, but a lot of HP damage basically. CLAD for the occasional paralyze here, and again summon towards the end of the fight for safety against Bright Ray. I do notice that the boss actually just uses Bright Ray towards the end of the fight when it's around the, I guess, red bar, and that's where I noticed that it actually uses it. I can't really say that it will not use it on the early stages of the fight, but that's just my own experience. Now the last one I have for you guys here is courtesy of Amaterasu. I found this in the Reddit Lost Chapter guides, and his team included Tifa, Y'shtola, and Noelle with a Setzer support and Shiva for the summon. The idea here is delay, delay, delay. I will leave a link in the description below on his video on how he actually pulled this off. I do believe there is some luck elements in there. I didn't see the boss actually use the Bright Ray, so even though I do believe there's some luck in there, I do believe this is well worth checking out. It's actually a really good strategy, and you know, like I said before, I like finding things that are really interesting, different kinds of party compositions if I'm running out of ideas myself on what kind of team can I actually put on my video, guys. So thank you Amaterasu once again, and again, link down in the description below. And also don't forget to give him some love and let him know who actually sent you there, okay? Okay guys, so we're finally towards the end of this video, and of course I'll give you guys my final thoughts on this fight. Now, in all honesty, I didn't really find this fight super difficult, but I found that this fight can really cheese you out of a win because of that Bright Ray. For the most part, I didn't have any problems during the entire fight, up until basically the boss turns to the red bar and uses Bright Ray and basically one-shots everyone, even though I have, you know, Brave up, no one gets broken, and people still end up dying. So I guess other than that, there wasn't really much problem for me. It was really annoying because I had to restart the fight and whatnot, and in the end I decided to find a lot of, I guess, strategies that can help me prevent that from happening. And I guess the one that I really picked out is using Yuffie and making sure that I have her EX ability up when I know it's gonna use those big brave, increased brave, and will do magic brave plus HP attack, just making sure that it doesn't increase its brave. That way I won't be taking a lot of HP damage. Again, there are other ways to go around it. Again, for example, Setzer is the best one that I can really recommend, because Setzer is a very good friend support. And I know I'm kind of repeating myself, but I just want to reiterate how good he is in terms of making sure you do survive. And of course, he's a good brave battery as well. Now, other ways that you can do this is having auto revive with Rosa, and of course with Y'shtola you can revive your entire party as well. But those are going to lower your score. However, I do remember that if you have one death, that is still enough for you to get the score requirements. So one death is good, but once you're getting to the 2 deaths department, then you probably are not gonna make that score requirement. But again, sometimes you just need that evasiveness, that luck evasiveness sometimes. So anyway guys, I think I'll end the video right here. Please remember to click like and subscribe if you haven't already. It does help my little channel to grow. For every new subscriber who clicks that subscribe button, I really do appreciate it. And of course, if you leave a like on this video, it does help with the YouTube algorithm, making sure other people can watch this video and learn from this video. Also, make sure to follow me on Twitter and on Facebook. Those are my social media outlets. So if you do have any questions or you just want to talk about Dissidia Opera Omnia, you can leave me a message there and I'll try to get back to you as quick as I can. Anyway guys, this is Monchkinz logging off, and I'll see you guys in the next level.